This is Chiming In with Elyse and David. Let's talk about love.
Love?
Love.
What kind of love? Like capital L love, lowercase l, like LUV love? What kind of love?
Let's talk about
All the above love?
capital L love.
Capital L.
Yeah. Who were you first in love with?
Like a guy? Or
Yeah,
like my girlfriend when I was little?
Whatever you want to talk about. Whichever. How about your girlfriend? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Like the first time you have like a true friendship, that was the first time I probably really felt love, like besides my family, but like really loved my friend. Would do anything for her, felt like I wanted her to be successful and thrive, and wherever she was, whatever she was doing, whether I was with her or I wasn't. She didn't even live here with me for very long. She was away and came back and forth, and her family was everywhere. So whenever I had her in my presence, it was like a dream. And when she wasn't, we were back then were pen pals, and we just had this relationship that was so, it was so easy. And I never worried. I never wondered about anything. I just knew that I loved her, everything about her, and she made me feel the same way. So it was so special. And, you know, we, when she was moving for the final time of moving out of the area, we wrote a letter with marker on a piece of paper that said our names and said "True friends forever," and we buried them in the beach in the sand. And I just absolutely, like, it felt magical to be that connected to somebody that was not a family member.
Do you think that relationship informed you about other loves in your future after that?
That's an interesting question. I guess. I mean, it really taught me that what I was capable of when I was thinking about another person in my life, another human. I guess that's the way I always act around anybody who's in my life. You know, if you're a friend, you're going to get exactly what anyone else is going to get. And I really don't take that away. So I'm really forgiving. Like, even if something feels like there's an obstacle of some sort, I don't really see it as that. I just, life is life, and it's okay. It's all right. But guess what happened one time?
What happened?
So that friend was a best friend for, like, we went to school together, like third, fourth, and fifth grade or so. Maybe sixth, I guess. Well, actually, she was like I said, in and out of town during that time. So guess what happened? Like, oh my gosh, maybe 10 years ago now. I'm making that up. I'm not sure. Guess
I
what happened.
I probably know what happened, but why don't you tell everybody?
Okay, so she doesn't live here at all. There are some of her family members that live here, and one of her aunts and uncles lives around the corner from us. Okay, fine. And of course, because of social media, we're in touch. Okay, great. Well, here I was. I think Flora was like a little baby, and she's running around our house naked, completely naked, head to toe. Probably trying to chase her with a diaper or something, right? And the door rings, and I go over to it, and it is my best friend standing there. Like, I was in shock. Absolute shock.
How long had it been since you'd seen her before that?
Oh, I mean, decades. No, literally. I don't even know the last time. We were literally children. I don't know. Did I see her any other time? I can't remember. I almost passed out. It was the best surprise. And I don't really like surprises, but it was perfect. I was a little embarrassed that Flora was running around completely. I mean, it was perfect because it's exactly what was always happening in our house.
Did you
So,
feel like no time had gone by since you'd seen her last?
well, yes and no. I mean, the connection between us was still there. We were just kind of staring at each other, marveling at, how we've, aged and how we're grown-ups and we have families and life. But it was a beautiful reunion. And yeah, it was amazing, actually. And I went and dug out, because I have all this stuff, like memory stuff, boxes. I have a Ziploc with stuff from her. So I gave her her letters, and I have a bunch of tiny seashells from the beach that we buried the note in.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had the note. I used to have dreams of going and getting it.
It's probably still there.
No chance it survived. It wasn't even like in a bottle. It was just a piece of paper in the water, in the sand. Yeah, no, it was a really magical experience. So, yeah, so I guess when you first asked about love, I could go, that was a really true love experience. In fact, as of right now, as it stands, there's a little vignette chapter in my book about her, because it was so special. And I don't know that everyone feels that way or not, but I never really thought about how true love that was. That was true love. And so, yeah, so it's a different kind of love than what obviously I experienced with a boyfriend later or whatever. Yeah.
So talk about that then. Let's talk about boyfriend love.
Okay.
When was your first boyfriend love?
I guess when I was like 15-ish.
Okay.
Okay. Well, remember, I went away to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, well, it's interesting. I set up, we said I love you, and I really loved him, but I really loved him as just as a person. Like, I felt love because he loved me, and I loved the idea of him, and I loved that feeling of that beginning of a romance that was it was so gorgeous, and it was so different than the guy I had been also seeing prior to that.
And you're not counting that as love?
No. No. This is someone else. So, yeah, he was a dancer, and he's a student with me, and we had such a beautiful summer, and it was like summer love in that way. And it was so, it was something that I understood that it wasn't probably forever. And that made it unique, I guess, in a way. But again, we were kids, so I wasn't really thinking it through. It was a real like summer romance in that way, that the friendship feeling, I needed that to stay forever. Yeah. And then what were you just?
So it sounds like friendship is kind of the heart to these relationships that you've had before.
It is for me. Yeah, I mean, I ended up in, I would say, in a loving relationship for a long time with a very dear friend who is in my life to this day, in our life in a way. And I think, yeah, the friendship was the key and the core, even though there was obviously other things, and there was all the other things that go into a loving relationship, attraction and romance and whatever, but that didn't have to be the end all be all. And again, I guess at some point the writing was on the wall with that relationship. This other one I'm now bringing up, that was not kind of not a forever romantic relationship. And when things became more real, like real adulting and real life, that it was clear that we're really good friends, and I can support him and love supporting him in all ways, and the rest of it can just go by the wayside. However, with you, we weren't really friends first. if
We
you know.
should have been friends first.
Even though we obviously knew each other and we talked about that on episode 1, I didn't really know you. So getting to know you, but definitely also dating through that process, that was a whole different experience for me. I can't really think of, maybe I had, one or two experiences sort of, but not really. I definitely felt that love, capital LOVE, love, spark really early with you, and then spent so much time worried that it was going to go away. And again, I'm not one to let that go, clearly. But I had been brokenhearted many times because that's not how everyone else, does it.
Right.
So I was worried.
Are
Even after we got
are
married,
you still worried now? Or you feel more comfortable now?
I'm a little more comfortable now. I mean, yeah. But you know what? And this was just me, but I just felt like when things were really rough, especially when the kids were so young and everybody was everywhere and it was hard. And I for a long time wasn't so sure. Like I didn't know if we could see eye to eye through all the crazy. I don't even know. I just didn't know. Like, is this gonna go on forever? I see. There was no, not so much light. It was a lot of, red tape and turmoil and chaos.
It's really hard when the kids are little, when they're just all over the place, and
Especially when you had 4.
lots of no sleep nights. Yeah. I remember the first couple of dates that we went on, though, and I remember driving next to you in your car and your
Oh my God.
gorgeous long hair flowing out.
And I was hiding my cigarette.
Yes, you were.
Well, it didn't work.
With the
but
side mirror, right?
I was like, oh, I'm following him. I'm just gonna smoke a cigarette real quick on the way to wherever we were going next. I was trying to hide it right behind the side view mirror thing.
Yeah, I saw it the whole time.
It's terrible. But I had to hide it because you weren't a fan of smoking. Yeah, so fast forward a little bit, and we made a promise to each other. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember the promise.
You do? So the promise was that I was going to give up smoking,
Right.
and you were going to give up.
Ham.
David likes ham, so he was going to give up. I can't even say it without busting out laughing. He was going to give up eating ham.
Right.
And here we are. How many years later?
Yeah, but I stopped eating ham.
Okay. Have I mentioned he's lying? Yeah.
Well, you stopped smoking, so that at
I
least
did.
that happened.
And I miss it every day. Yeah, anyway, I think young love and all the young loves I just mentioned is a lot different from the love that, even including us, we started, dating, I was 24-ish or so. So you 25. And I think that the love that started back then was magical for sure and exciting, and yet is almost unrecognizable today. And the sense that we have evolved so much as individuals, and then how we have empowered each other to find something different and new and exciting in your own lane, as well as together. So we're constantly reinventing ourselves to bring something new to the table, so it's not consistent and stagnant.
Right, supporting each other's interests and the things
Supporting
that we love
each
to do.
other, but also accepting each other. I think that I don't know when you said this, but there's a lot of red flags or things to accept in an early relationship, and you are people are good at doing that when they're trying so hard to just have a relationship. A lot of times things are overlooked. And at some point there has to be a decision whether those are, you have to discern if those are something to keep or let.
Deal breakers.
Yeah, exactly. And we know people who are kind of only wanting to be in that first love feeling, right? Like that is awesome and everything else is not so awesome. And then there's like people like you and me who have gone through that first love awesome, have gone through less awesome, and never once thought about not wanting to keep going.
Right.
Well, maybe not never once, but like there were times where there was question marks, I would say, but every time there's something new to uncover because of those question marks. So like the obstacle, what was on the other side of that was the gift. So we just had to keep going through it and not surrender or say, I'm out.
Right.
I mean, I even met with someone once who had divorced her husband. I never knew him. I barely knew her, but we were having coffee and I was like, I don't know, I must have been kind of complaining about how hard everything was and how I must have said something like, I wonder if it would be I don't think I used the word easier, but better. I don't know, if I were just by myself, not because I didn't love you, just because of how hard everything was together. It was almost like making it more complicated. And I just couldn't even breathe at different times with those kids being so little, so many of them. And she looked at me and she said, never think that it would be easier without a partner. And she encouraged me to navigate those rocky, stormy waters. And if I could, because I didn't, and I wasn't even really serious. It was just a conversation. And that's just it. The water isn't always calm. And sometimes you really have to make accommodations. And sometimes you have to pivot. And sometimes you have to go off course. There's no one way. And we definitely had our share of trying circumstances, I think. Just again, raising families and having businesses and just trying to stay above, stay afloat.
Well, I wish you had come home and talked to me about that lunch that you had.
Funny. Like I didn't come home and talk to you about it. I didn't keep it to myself. My heart was on the sleeve.
Just holding everything back all the time.
Yeah. Ha.
Well, I'm sorry you were in that much pain.
I wasn't in pain.
All right.
I think we were both in a version of hell.
Well, that is true. We did have 4 kids under the age of 7.
I know. 3 under the age of 4, by the way. So, yes, it was crazy. And yet it was, brutal. It was brutal and beautiful all at once.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's Glennon Doyle's little word, and I love it. Yeah, it's true. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe someone else said it before her. It was a lot, and I wish I could go back and just I don't regret necessarily. I just kind of wish I could go back and not be as exhausted, or you and I be more like we are now, and accepting and loving to our differences and how we handle things. Or, hey, you might be better at this, I'm better at that, I suck at this. So I think, I guess that's what grandparenting is going to be for, is all I can tell you.
I can't wait to be a granddaddy. What do you think? What are you going to call yourself when you have a grandchild?
Well, this took a turn. Actually, I said a few years ago that it'd be cute to be known as Cece, because that is what my sister used to call me when I was little.
Right.
I guess you couldn't say Elyse. I don't know.
Cece.
So Cece. So I thought that might be cute.
Yeah.
And we already know you're Papa Dave. We already talked about that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
What do you want to be?
Yeah, I want to. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Then why are you talking about it?
I just think it's a cute
You have-
question to ask you.
Why is this all about me? You're the one that came up with this topic, and you have said nothing.
No, I've been talking.
You have said nothing.
Yeah.
I see his
Well,
eyes are looking to
why
see
don't
if
you
he's going
ask me-
to press stop.
Ask me a question.
Okay. You brought up love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's your love language?
So remind me what the love languages are so I can
I
answer
know
this
it's been
properly.
a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You read the book, right?
Yes, I
It's
did.
a book from Dr. Gary Chapman,
Mm-hmm.
right? The 5 Love Languages. I think there's a lot of sequels to that book.
Mm-hmm.
But basically the premise was that any individual could kind of has their own like unique way of loving, but that being said, there's like 5, in his opinion, primary languages that can help bridge a communication
Mm-hmm.
gap. And so they were words of affirmation,
Right.
quality time,
Mm-hmm.
acts of service,
Mm-hmm.
receiving gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and physical touch. Funny how you forgot.
I think
I
I have all 5 love languages. I would say probably acts of service.
Oh, bullshit.
What do you think?
Acts of service is feeling most cared for when a partner performs helpful tasks such as cooking a meal, doing
Yeah, I
laundry,
forget
and
that.
running errands.
Yeah, you don't do any of that, so. See
I
how
mean,
much
I
I'm
didn't.
lacking?
I didn't this year. That's why. Oh,
Well,
you don't feel loved because
No,
I haven't been doing those
no,
things.
I do feel love because you wrote the
So-
book, so
so
I've
acts
been,
of service
that's
is
been part of the
not
service is reading.
your love language.
Okay, which one do you think my love language
No,
is?
no, 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 no.
I
You
have to-
do the work.
I have to choose which one.
Well, anyway, I don't. I just thought you.
Oh,
would.
which one's your love language? How about that? Let's go back to you.
I think my primary love language is quality time,
Mm-hmm.
valuing undivided attention and shared activities without distractions like phones.
Well, you really picked the right person, didn't you?
Well, apparently we both did. Maybe we're mismatched after all. Maybe Dr. Gary Chapman doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, I think we've gotten used to spending a lot of quality time together
I
now.
forced you. I forced you into quality time. I forced my love language upon you.
I've come to love it. I love our quality time. I really do.
So much so that we're now putting it live on
That's
public.
right. Everybody gets to, you all get to hear our quality time together. No, I mean, I knew that about you, that you wanted to spend time with me. And
No, it was quality time. I don't need to spend just time with you.
Right.
It was actual, like this, literally
Mm-hmm.
this. So, and I know that makes me a little different and us a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And, but years ago when we read that book, actually, I recall thinking gifts,
yeah, you did.
and probably a close, second, maybe 2, quality time.
Right.
And the reason was because I felt like a special gift, and I didn't really mean like, diamonds or something. I meant like a thoughtful, like a person being thought about when ahead of time or not, when it's not necessary.
So you're not talking about like a birthday gift or something predictable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I was really talking about just being thought about. Yeah. Like my favorite gift was back when, well, there were 2. And they were, well, the first one was we were in New Jersey visiting my girlfriend, who we both had Pilates studios, and we were at her studio, I think in Red Bank.
Right.
And you went like shopping around while I was working out or did something with her.
Yes.
And you came back and ended up getting me this beautiful little unusual necklace that you talked to the person who made it and the jeweler, and it was just really special, and I'd never seen anything like it to this day. So it was just a gift for nothing that you just happened to see, love, and, just wanted to get for me. And I don't know that I'd ever really experienced that before, honestly. Just, it didn't have to be something that special, like that necklace is super special. It didn't have to be that. It could have been anything, but just that you thought of me when I wasn't with you was beautiful. And the other gift was this little pink tin lip gloss that you found in a gift shop one day, maybe on your lunch break. And it was, yeah. And it was this little round tin, and it reminded me a little bit of the lip glosses we had in like the 70s and 80s, like even though it was a different shape. And it just was so pretty. It had this like woman on the front, kind of like horoscope looking kind of thingy. And oh my gosh, it was just so sweet. I just thought, why did you get this for me? And you're like, I see you put lip gloss on. I see you like things, and just, I don't even know if you realized how perfectly me that little gift was, but it came out of nowhere. Once again, it represented that you were thinking about me, even though I wasn't right in front of you. So it was it was the gift that kept on giving.
Well, when I think about you giving me gifts, I think about...
Is that your love language?
Probably not, but I still love those gifts that you gave me. And I think about our children, and you gave me a gift for each of our children that we had. And you did a reverse push present, right? So you're supposed to give
I did.
Your loved one a gift when they have a baby, and you gave
Well, you're not supposed to, but we heard about that.
You did it.
Also, I didn't push, so.
That's right. No pushing. So what do you think is a good takeaway for this podcast?
I think that even though February somehow represents the month of love in some way, shape, or form, I think that we don't have to go by what the Hallmark holiday comes in and out. I think that we can show and be love, and most importantly, when maybe you least expect it, show up and give a little something. I think that for me, that is my absolute most favorite way of expressing love, actually. And speaking of love, I know for a fact that we have a lot of friends who are listening to this right now, and maybe people we don't even know, who all tell me all the time, God bless you, that you love our podcast. And we appreciate you more than words can say. So
is there something they could do for us?
Yeah, if you want to give us a little unexpected surprise, the fact is, I feel like maybe you could just double check that you have maybe clicked those star buttons, the ratings, or if you're not driving, maybe you can write a little message to us on the podcast, depending where you listen to it. I understand it's all different, but we could stand to see a few more of those stars and gifts in reviews.
And if you know somebody who would also like to listen, share the podcast with them.
Share. Yes, please share.
That'd be great.
With your loved ones.
Yes. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Okay. Yeah. We're seeing you. Maybe we'll see them. Maybe we'll start videoing.
I think we should.
We should.